Episode of the Marketing Podcast is brought to you by Neighborhood Domains. Every business needs a domain name, including yours. Visit neighborhooddomains.com and use offer code MARKETING to get 10% off hosting and domain registration.
On this episode, we are talking about retail marketing. We're talking about shoppable windows. We're talking about JC Penney and what's going on there, as well as Best Buy's Geek Squad.
Creativity sells. Applying the right creative at the right time is the recipe for great marketing. The Marketing Podcast looks at marketing news and finds the secret ingredients that make great marketing.
Hi, welcome to the Marketing Podcast. I'm Heather Watson.
And I'm Brendan Quigley.
How you doing today, Brendan?
Good.
Did you have a good weekend?
Very good weekend.
What'd you do?
You
probably did gardening.
Well, see, this is it. It's
That's what you
summertime,
do.
right? So we're gardening.
Yeah, I went shopping.
To be fair, the garden's massive.
Yeah, to be fair, the malls are massive.
Well, did you need a tractor?
No. No, I did a little retail therapy on the weekend and disappeared with a good friend of mine. And we went down to Destiny, USA.
So if you're listening
I have reached my destiny.
from Destiny, USA.
Yeah, shout out, which is just outside of Syracuse. And Destiny has a mall. It is a mall, basically, is what Destiny is. And it's the sixth largest mall in the United States. It's a very large mall. So there was lots of shopping opportunities today.
Were there segways?
To do. There was. Oh my gosh, there was. There was like mall cop.
Yeah.
There was totally
a mall cop.
a security dude on a Segway, and there weren't Segways for like the people. There were Segways for the mall cop, which made me think of the movie Mall Cop, and I wanted to take a picture of him, but I thought, how many times has that happened in a day? Completely. So
I kind of want to try a Segway. I'm just like, I know I'm like totally off topic now, but you see those funny YouTube videos of people like royally wiping out on Segways.
Yeah.
And you're like, is it really that hard?
I feel like the movie Mall Cop ruined all things cool about Segways, though. I just feel like it was cool.
I've never watched it.
It's super cool technology, but it's kind of like anybody who rides a Segway to me has got a bit of a dweeb in them. So I don't know if I would ever be caught dead on a Segway, although they look so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that today because I'm still putting away packages that I had purchased over the course of the weekend, that we would talk a little bit about retail marketing and some kind of developments in retail, good, bad, and otherwise. So our first story is kind of interesting. I didn't see this, but Fred Segal, which is a retail store, has partnered with MasterCard for shoppable windows. Pretty cool, eh? What's a shoppable window, you ask? So in partnership with MasterCard, they've opened up an interactive pop-up shop called Rock and Roll Holy Land, and it's on Sunset Strip in LA, which is why I didn't see this one. But basically, it has a shoppable storefront window technology. So it's a vintage clothing shop, right, is what they sell. And you can look in the window and see something, and then actually through the window, with the window's a giant touch screen, like the mall directories, you are here kind of touch screen. You can buy that item without even setting foot in the store, which in this particular case is super cool because if the store is not open and they have one of a kind of stuff and you can't get back there when the store opens again, you can still convert and buy whatever it is that you're looking for.
I think it also like gets rid of the need to like pull people into the store.
It does.
I feel like that's a huge part of a mall.
It's still in a mall, and I did see this in a mall. I want to say it was H&M, but I could be wrong. But it was like, so malls are a bit of a different beast because you're not in the mall unless every store in the mall is open, right? Like if you're a tenant in a mall and you have a retail store, you are basically signing in your lease agreement that if the mall hours are from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m., your mall doors will be open from 9 till 9 because it looks really, really bad when you have people picking and choosing their hours during mall hours, right? People won't come to the mall. It's part of the traffic and the way that it works. So if the mall's open 9 to 9, then why do you need a thing at the window to show that you're open, or not to show that you're open, but to buy from when you're open and people can go in. But the store that was doing it basically was showing like their latest spring fashions, and you can kind of check it out. And they had like a little style guide. It wasn't a big touchable window like Fred Segal is doing, but it was, the equivalent of an iPad, a big iPad, and you could flip through it and check out their styles.
I feel like people like the kiosk. Am I crazy? Like, I feel like people, I don't know, it's personal or customizable.
We've talked about how people aren't big fans of people, right?
That's true.
Like, so I don't want to go into a store sometimes if I know that I'm going to be harassed by a sales attendant the second I walk in. Just so you know, everything in the store is 50% off.
Yeah,
Can I help
right.
you with anything? Did you find this? Let me get this. Like, oh.
And we hate commission for some reason.
Yeah. It's like, leave me alone. So by putting that kiosk out there and it's like, oh, look at that great scarf in the window. I'd love that. Oh, I could buy it right from this little kiosk and I don't have to talk to a soul. Tap, tap, tap. Walk in the store, pick it up, out you go. Like, you couldn't get better than that.
Yeah, that's
You're
true.
still getting the mall tactile experience without the people.
You know what? I guess it's kind of like an Apple store. Like, you can walk in with your phone and purchase something and walk out.
Yeah.
They've got the whole system in place.
Yeah. So it's just kind of this new interface. And we're already doing touch screens with self-checkouts, right? And so we're used to that experience in terms of it's kind of a self-checkout without having to step in the mall.
Yeah.
It's like a catalog
Yeah.
without stepping into the store, right? It's a
catalog stores are coming back.
Yeah, there we go. And it could very well be. So Fred Segal's doing it. And like I say, I saw it when I was in Destiny. And it's kind of a neat. I didn't see Fred Segal's, but I saw somebody else's, and it's kind of a neat way to interact, and even just to draw people into the store.
And so I'm gonna say, if you're a small business and you've got a brick and mortar store, you could easily set up your website on an iPad and lock it into that website in their kiosk mode. And there's hardware that you can get that will, chain it to the desk and give people virtually the exact same experience.
Yeah.
This is one of those things that you can see the big brands doing, and you're like, oh, that must be so expensive. It's not really. If you've got a mobile, responsive website and a good user experience, you can do this. And then when they get to the checkout and they choose shipping, you can be like, I'm in the store.
Yeah. Yeah, and it makes it super simple for people and it's just making you and your brand more accessible to people's shopping preferences. Some people like that person-to-person experience and they want to go in and talk to the shopkeeper. Other people don't even want to make eye contact but still want to look.
Yeah, but they want to maybe touch it before they buy it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it gives them that option. Plus, forget personality types. Think for a moment about just straight up accessibility for people who have disabilities. Maybe they have a walker or a chair or even on crutches, and getting into the store because of racks and rounders and shelves might be a challenge for them. Or reading from a screen maybe is easier for them than encountering somebody person to person based on whatever their disabilities may be. So it's just another way to make it easier for different customer types to reach you. JC Penney. Have you ever been into a JC Penney?
No. What is JC Penney?
Very much like a Sears.
Oh, okay.
Very much like
Wait, what's a Sears? No, I'm joking.
Sears, JC Penney, just a general goods department store, menswear, women's wear, bags, appliances, that kind of stuff.
So Amazon.
Okay. But in a store.
Okay.
Yeah, in a box, in a big, giant box. So I've been, anytime I go stateside, which is 2 or 3 times a year, I'm kind of there to do shopping and have some fun. They have been dying so slowly, I guess is all I can say. They started many, many years ago. And now this news, we're talking about it now, not just because I was in a JC Penney store, and boy, do I have a story to tell you about it in a second. But the news around it is that the CEO of JC Penney has jumped ship and has gone over to Lowe's. So now people are speculating that they're, about ready to go bankrupt. Now, they were ginormous when, in the, I want to say the 80s, when malls started to be like the Mall of America and like the big malls down there started to be a big deal. They were building 50 to 60 anchor stores a year. So these were always like Canadian Sears attached to a big mall. And they were doing 50 to 60 of them a year.
And they were the store that made other people
one
want to
of
be
the
in the mall.
corner
Yeah.
tenants that would bring
Yeah.
people in, big visibility, usually 2 floors, that kind of thing. Small appliances, large appliances, and clothing downstairs kind of thing. And then they shifted out of malls where they could get out of leases, because the leases on the malls are pretty expensive when you're an anchor tenant. They started going to standalone stores. So they would just be in kind of like a mall park.
Yeah,
And they are in a lot of regional malls still, as they are in Destiny. But now when you go, their stores are so empty, and I think they don't know what to do. Like the staff don't, like the CEO, the leadership, they just don't know what to do. Very similar to what happened to Sears in Canada, over the last 5 years before they finally closed shop last year, right? When I was there, and people say, why do you go to the States to go shopping? Like, the exchange rate, you're paying 25 to 30% more on the dollar. Are you saving any money? I go, like, truly, it's more of a mind break when I'm there than it is an actual savings break. But I also know how to shop deals and find things. So, as an example, I was going through the clearance rack, because I like looking for good deals, going through the clearance rack at JC Penney, and I found a beautiful cable knit sweater. So it would have been from fall, right? Last season. I don't care. Sweaters still work for me next fall. And it was on clearance for $2.95 US, right? So I don't care what, like, add 30% on that, and I'm getting a sweater for $3.50. Still a good buy, right? You can't buy a bolt of yarn for that, or a skein of yarn for that. You with me still?
I'm totally here.
So
Even with the yarn.
Even with
I'm
the yarn.
here,
There
yeah.
you go. So I find a few other of those types of deals, and then I go to the cash register and go to pay. And I mean, like, the other deals were like, a blouse for $13 and brand name stuff too. So I go to cash out, and the fine chap behind the counter says to me, "Oh, would you like to sign up for a JC Penney card today? In doing so, you'll get an additional 42% off your entire purchase, not just one item, and 42 is kind of an odd number. Oh, it's an even number, but it's a strange number. It's like 40%, 45%.
Yeah, right.
That's what I expect. But 42 is like, sure, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And then what I do, because we don't have JCPenney here at all, so I don't need a JCPenney credit card. So while I'm standing there, I open up the account, and then if the total bill is like $50, I pay the $50 in cash while I'm standing there, and then I never have to deal with JCPenney again. But
Yeah.
I just got 42% off. So, and he's like, so I do that, and he says to me, now this applies for the next 24 hours, in store, online, in any other JCPenney store, like, for any purchase. It's not just for your very first purchase.
Yeah, right.
Plus, every other purchase you make for the rest of the day, you'll instantly get $25 off at the till. And I'm like, even on discount clearance items? Even on discount clearance items. So, of course, my friend who I'm shopping with, we go, I hunt her down and, like, stop what you're doing, forget Target, or Burlington Coat Factory or wherever the heck she was. And I'm like, let's get back over to JCPenney. And she's like, really, really, really? I'm like, that's what they say. So she went, loaded up her cart, and the savings were astronomical. Like, it was, when she was cashing out, her total bill was like $97 or something like that. And she was buying clothes for her nieces, nephews, kids, grandkids, like
Of
other,
course.
like not just for her. Right? It's a Christmas gifts, like thinking ahead, And the guy was like, "Oh, great news! You saved $684 today." And it's like, no wonder they're going bankrupt, friends. Like, they've just got so much merchandise that they're just paying us to take out of the store.
That's amazing.
Amazing. So, I mean, and then I could still go online and order, but they don't ship to Canada, so it's a bit of a challenge that way. But yeah. So this is a long-winded story to say, man, did I get some cute tops and sweaters. But outside of...
You didn't buy me anything.
I didn't. I did. I was going to say I bought you a book, but not there.
Right.
Not there. So they're trying to figure out how to fit into this new online shopping economy, and they can't figure it out. And as such, their actual physical stores, I mean, to walk around in the mall over the course of a weekend, there was a rainy day in the weekend, you'd think everybody be in the mall. It was dead. And this is like a tourist destination for people because it's such a large mall. And JCPenney are one of those ones that just can't quite figure out how to adapt. And it's been a long, slow decline.
And I think I said it at the beginning, Amazon, right? Amazon.
Yeah.
it's just getting so easy, right? To go find what you're looking for. Now, I agree, clothes is one of those things. It's hard to necessarily get.
I'm always
Clothes
concerned
online.
about buying
Yeah.
clothes online because of the quality too.
Even that,
you
yeah.
know, and you never really know. Like even if I'm buying it from Amazon, it may come from like
Yeah.
some container way overseas that, you know, smells horrible and falls apart the second I look at it. Right.
Yeah.
So, clothes is one of those things where I still want to have a tactile experience with, and I think people generally do, but a good return policy can also combat that.
Yeah. And we've seen that with companies like Zappos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now shifting gears to retail companies that are doing it well, Best Buy, again in the U.S., Best Buy has come out with a Geek Squad subscription service
Only in the U.S.?
right now.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I could send all my family and friends.
Oh my gosh.
And family and friends, if you're listening,
Yeah.
let's talk.
Let's talk. I mean, seriously, this is something that you could buy for your parents and grandparents as a gift.
Like a gift, yeah.
Yeah. So that, and they don't even know that you're buying it for them, right? They call you, you call Geek Squad, some nice young man or woman shows up and it's like, thank you for fixing my computer. Right. So just
Now
to,
that's an idea. Like, can my subscription cover off a couple
maybe.
things? Yeah.
So just to highlight here, Best Buy has announced that their nationwide expansion of Total Tech Support, which is powered by Geek Squad. So Geek Squad is their tech support channel that you get in store. They've done it as a subscription-based technology where they're doing technology, troubleshooting, and support service. And they'll cover all of a customer's electronics and appliances according to their press release that they issued. So it does cost $200 a year for a full year, and that's US, for a full year subscription. It includes unlimited technology support for services and devices administered by Geek Squad staff in store by phone 24/7 online or through the Best Buy Home app. It also includes the cost of installation of internet security software for up to 3 devices. Subscribers are eligible for discounts on in-home services like TV mounting, appliance installation, computer setup, connected home device installation, setup on hardware repairs, and future purchases of most Geek Squad protection and Apple Care service plans. So they get discounts on those care plans. So this is kind of a neat thing where they already have this tech department that helps people with the tech that they're buying in the store. But by creating this subscription service, they're again adapting to the changing economy. Moving to, you can't get a subscription service TV, you can't get a subscription service laptop every time you buy something. But if you can get the service to it on a subscription, then it just helps boost their sales. They've created a new product, and that whole unlimited feature for a couple $100, man. I think about the times that people in my life just need to, have you tried turning it off and on again? That kind of technical support. And I know people who use Best Buy in Canada, their Geek Squad for service, and are practically on a first name basis with them.
And it's expensive.
It is,
Yeah.
but it's also, they're good, right? They're
Oh, yeah.
not, I mean, it's kind of a sweeping statement to say, and it's not like a testimonial because I've never used them, but I've heard that they treat their customers well. It's service with a smile. And they're dedicated to doing it.
When I look at the price tag, they've got to be good. Like, you're only getting $200 off a person. Easily one person could suck up a lot of time if you don't have an experienced IT professional going in who recognizes the problem and can fix it right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of a cool service that they're rolling out. Again, I'm not talking about it to sell it or anything. I just think that how they're adapting to the new economy, where we're going digital everything and people don't know how to use everything digital.
So this is where I go with this. If you're a business and you've got a product or a service, put it on a subscription. I don't know how specifically, but figure it out.
Yeah.
If you can add value through so for you, the benefit's recurring revenue, but you can add value for the ongoing service or the ongoing support, or if your product's a consumable that someone's going to need anyways, and you can have it automatically shipped out. Like, this is valuable and very popular in the new economy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we certainly do it with website maintenance.
Yeah. I mean, for me, going back to the whole clothing reference, if I found somebody who did subscription clothing repair, now that's a little bit much in terms of back and forth with shipping stuff, but like how many times I need a hem fixed or a button fixed or something sewn, and I don't want to take the time to do it.
Free ideas. On
I
the
end up
marketing
with
podcast.
a big old bag of stuff that I eventually take to my local seamstress who does it lovingly. She's like, Heather, let me just teach you how to sew on a button. I'm like, I don't want to learn. I don't want to learn. I learned in grade 9 and I've forgotten and I don't care anymore. But she does it. She does it with a smile, and that's great.
Yeah.
But if I could do it on a subscription service, I would be more likely to do like this one sweater, this one top,
right.
as opposed to saving a big heap and taking it all in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the retail experience. I want to talk to you about another experience that happened on the weekend that I was really happy about, and this ties into our favorite things. So for those of you who are joining us for the first time, thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us. And on our ongoing regular listeners, thanks for tuning in. This section, we talk about things that we do in our lives in terms of our agency and our business and our personal lives that help us get through. So WordPress is just on Sunday last, the 27th. I think I'm mixing up my dates, but I think it was the 27th. Celebrated their 15th anniversary.
Which is kind of amazing. Because the internet's only 20 years old?
Yeah, maybe more.
The consumer internet.
Yeah.
It's definitely older, but remember dial-up? When was that? 20 years ago?
Yeah, 95.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they celebrated their 15th anniversary, 15th birthday, whatever we call it. So talk about WordPress and why we love it.
Yeah, I was going to say, so if you don't know what WordPress is, I believe it's 1 in 6 websites being created today are built with WordPress. WordPress is something, what we would call a platform that you can build your website on. And what's unique about WordPress versus the other stuff that came out is it's mostly open source. Like all the code, all of the software bits that you need to make a website is free. You can download it and get going right away. And there's free themes and there's free plugins and away you go. You can build a website using website tools that are free compared to sort of proprietary systems that you have to pay for and on a regular basis and maybe have a developer come in and do it. So the key things about WordPress is it's open source and free, and for the large portion of people, it's a DIY. You can create your own. We love it because of how customizable it is and how easy it is to work with as developers. And so we have a stable of plugins that we use and themes that we use that basically let us recreate whatever we need for our clients. And it's really easy to do, and there's no additional cost to pass on.
Right. And just to be clear, Brendan, and we often talk about this distinction, there's WordPress.com and WordPress.org. Both are WordPress, but there's a slight difference. What is that?
So WordPress.org is the nonprofit side of WordPress. It's the open source. You can go download the code and install it.
So that's what you're talking about today.
Yeah. WordPress.com, same platform. It's just that they've commercialized it a little bit. It's a little bit more like Wix or Weebly or any of those creators, where they provide the hosting and they set up the WordPress and you connect your domain and you go and you build your website. WordPress.com had some limitations, but quite recently
they've opened that up.
They've opened it up. So, if you were to ask me between a .org or .com, I always prefer, just installing WordPress on your own server. But if you're trying to decide between WordPress and Wix or something like that, go check out WordPress.com because it's going to be a good alternative and let you scale.
Yeah, and .com.org on the WordPress side of things doesn't mean you have to be a .com or a .org.
Yeah, no.
You can connect any domain to it, just as a point of clarification. So the other thing that a lot of people really want, and I don't think I heard you say it, but the CMS, right? So you can build your own website, which is great. Other people can build a website for you too, which is great. If you're not that inclined and you want to pay somebody to do it for you, give us a call at Acorn30. Shameless plug. But outside of that, the content management system, it basically means that it has a really nice back end to the website. So if somebody does build the website for you, the owner of the website, don't necessarily have to pay somebody to recode it every time you want to make a change to it. It's pretty simple to change. There's a bit of a learning curve, and hopefully whoever is building your website for you will give you some learning documents. However, there's a ton of stuff because it is open source. There's a ton of stuff that you can find online as well. But the content management system is what people really like because they can give even different users within your company, within your organization, different administrative access. So they can maybe only touch the blog or maybe only look at the analytics or maybe just shut the whole site down or turn it on and off or change pages, depending on how elaborate you want it to be.
And to take that further, WordPress was developed as a blogging platform. It does the blogging thing everything exceptionally well, to the point where there's different roles for authors, editors, and admins.
Contributors or something like that.
All this stuff.
Yep.
So it does do the blogging really well. And then the plugins that are available for it extend it. You can do online stores, you can do membership sites.
And it's not all free. Some of it is paid.
Oh,
You can buy themes, you can buy advanced plugins, but they're all, the ones that are paid are, I would say they are all good, but there's a good user community behind WordPress that allows you to decipher which ones are good and not good, so you're not jumping into something you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's WordPress. Happy birthday, WordPress. Thanks for being nice to you. We'll keep being nice to them or something like that.
WordPress is a teenager now. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, terrible teens. I'd love to hear if you're a developer and building in website or building in WordPress, building plugins, hit us up. Hit us up on Twitter at marketingpod_ and let us know how much you love WordPress and if you celebrated WordPress 15th birthday on the weekend and how you did. That's it. That's the show.
For the Marketing Podcast, I'm Brendan Quigley.
And I'm Heather Watson. Thanks for listening.